every protective measure you take to stop untimely and unnecessary deaths of New Zealanders in a variety of ways, whether it's on the one hand suicide, or in this case death by the misuse of what we call volatile substances, which are really solvents of various kinds. And I don't want to go and list them all, because unfortunately there's a tendency when you do that for someone to go and try them. So I don't want to be part of the problem. But I want to firstly say that this isn't one of those mass problems that affects a great many people. It doesn't. But it can have some pretty serious consequences. In 2003-04, there were 5 deaths in the Wellington region over a relatively short period of time by young people, and this is a young person's thing by and large. The age was ranged in that case from 13 to 27, but the average age for this kind of abuse is in the mid-teens, 13, 14, 15. So these are the kids who are most likely to be seriously affected. The problem is, of course, that if you use one of these things or you abuse them, you may not have a serious outcome the first time or the second time or the 98th time, but one time you might, and that's the problem with it. I want to say thank you to Barry Hellberg and the Retailers Association for taking a responsible attitude towards all this, because it's not easy. I mean, a retailer is there to sell things, and in the volatile substances area, there are literally hundreds of substances that could potentially be abused. And you're in the business of selling these on a normal commercial and responsible basis, and then you're told that they could potentially kill somebody, and you feel as though you're kind of dealing in a rather wicked trade, where in fact all of the substances we can talk about have perfectly legitimate uses. The trick here, or the challenge, is to do this in a way that doesn't draw attention in a curious way to young people who will try something out and just see how it works. What we're trying to do here is educate retailers and give them an opportunity to have access to information and to advice about how they can go about the legitimate business of retailing without putting young people in particular, because that's the group we're talking about, at risk. So this approach is to give the retailers information on the internet, website, to have some material that they can display in their staff rooms and use for training that will assist their staff to identify where there might be a problem. If we can get cooperation and we can get it on an understandable basis where people feel that it's important that they take responsibility and they do it, then in the end this is going to work much better than regulation. Because people often feel if they're compelled to do something and they don't think it's sensible, it makes it very, very hard to get compliance. 1 death is 1 too many. 5 in 1 year in one place is 5 too many. And we know from time to time this happens all over the country. So this is an important initiative. It's one that will save lives, and the lives that it'll save are the lives of young New Zealanders who sometimes unconsciously put themselves at serious risk.